This is a tribute to the lords and ladies, the old folk of L.A.R.P and their kids and babies. Back in the early 80s in darkest Chester, in Peckforton Castle laid a trap for treasure. For knights and maidens, monsters and beasts, but even wizards bow to the referee. And it's no surprise that this game caught on. Who wouldn't want to don armour and be immortalised in song? Who wouldn't want to fight for freedom and evade danger? Who wouldn't want to drink booze with friends and sword fight with strangers? In a world of imagination, glory and booze, this new trend went through the country and over to the rest of the world. Even in America, the attraction was immense, but they tinkered and added an A for action. Keep your football, mundane sports games and PlayStations. Come join the celebration.
Live action roleplay. For years, this unique hobby has brought in an increasing number of people to don armour and face each other in the heat of battle. I went down to find out more from award-winning L.A.R.P, Dark Tempus.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Hi there. Yeah, it's Jamie. We spoke on the phone.
Oh, right. Yes. Hello.
Yes.
I have glue on my hands.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Simon
and
and Sarah.
What is L.A.R.P then?
The live action is it's you who's doing it, so it's not a tabletop.
Yeah.
And the role play is you become a character or that sort of thing.
Is it kind of annoying that the wider perception is of quite sort of centralised and quite medieval?
It's a very narrow view of a massive spectrum.
People who don't LARP, if they know anything about LARP at all, they know it's medieval. So, yes.
But the interesting thing really with medieval being the kind of pinnacle, what everyone sees, is that recently, the past 2-3 years, there's been a massive uprising in the kind of sci-fi and post-apocalyptic genre.
To go in from that, like, is it kind of because there is sort of the general consensus of L.A.R.P, which has got quite a bad rap.
Yeah.
I was like, how does that make you feel?
A lot of people, rightly or wrongly, and many times depressingly, they've got a point, which is if they were to be found out as a LARPer, they might struggle in their job. Because it's fine to have a teacher being a Liverpool fan and going to the games and watching and screaming at the top of their lungs while some of their school kids are also at those games. That's okay, that's fine. And there's a lot more violence associated in football than there is in LARP.
Over the past few months, we've spoken to a few other LARP organisers ourselves about trying to bring more media attention to the hobby.
We should stop, as a community, I think, being so hostile to can we come and film your game or can we at least interview you for the paper or anything like that. Let's stop being afraid of saying I'm a LARPer or I'm a geek or whatever it is, and let's just go, yeah, I'm a geek, I'm a LARPer, I fight orcs for fun, bring it on.
After meeting with Simon and Sarah, I went to talk to the writer of Dark Tempus, Simon's brother, Richard.
Oh yeah,
Jamie.
Richard. So all the games are set in this little settlement where people from all these different cultures have arrived and they've all got their own quirks and goals and conflicts to play out between them in the shadow of this big zombie invasion.
It's something I've been trying to sort of like grasp is how much of it is tailored by you.
Last event there was a big thing about getting essentially a blueprint for a device. Now when putting that in, obviously we have a whole idea of what that device might be and what it might do and where it might lead, but we also have to run what happens if they don't do it or, as it turned out, set it on fire. A good analogy is possibly jazz. You know what all the instruments are, but you don't quite know what everybody's going to do with them. And you've got to hope that they're good enough, that the sound comes out is really good. And so far, our play's great. They really have run with it.
The ultimate aim for me would probably be to come to one of these events and sort of get involved. Would that be possible?
I'd say we'd look into it because there's some logistical things, but let me run it past Simon and Sarah,
Right, okay, cool.
and then we will get back to you.
I wanted to gain perspective from a player of Dark Tempus, so the team put me in contact with Jack, who is preparing for his second event.
How's it going, man? Jamie, we spoke on the phone.
Yeah, Jack. Nice to meet you.
Cool. So, how did you get into L.A.R.P then? Like, would you have just gone into it blankly, or was there anything that sort of was a stimulus to you getting into L.A.R.P?
Probably. I mean, I've always been a bit silly amongst friends and whatnot, always willing to try new things, and it seemed a little bit more up my alley doing a bit of LARP, but
Before you did DT, would you been completely sort of not okay with L.A.R.P at all, and you just been like, that's not for me.
Yeah, truth be told, yeah, but I don't think I would have touched it without
Really?
a bit. I mean, I've only ever seen in films and whatnot, you know, where they take the mickey out of it and whatnot.
Exactly,
I thought, I can't imagine myself doing that.
Yeah.
But
So, can you talk us through your character then?
my character, he's a bit of an interesting one. I've tried to make a character that was not like myself. His name is Brennan Faraday. He's only looks out for number one and whatnot. He's part of a group called the Aristoc, who have the promise of immortality if you serve them and whatnot. They're sort of like I wouldn't say vampires, but they're somewhat vampire-like in their ways and whatnot, that they have this immortality going on. Brennan likes the idea of that more than anything really. He wants to become an immortal. The idea I had for Brennan, I wanted to be as mean as possible when I came in. I didn't want to make friends and whatnot. I wanted to hate everyone. I have a friend called Victor who hate less than everyone else. But I found as the event goes on, it was hard to keep that going because people tend to look after you. Like when I got wounded, people were healing you and whatnot. It was hard to portray myself as a mean person. And he's also got a promotion actually in his own squad, yeah, because we had fatalities in our squad. So
oh god, I would find it very hard to stay in character, and I wouldn't just be like, oh, that's my friend.
Because you become so immersed in the character yourself that these new characters come in with new roles. Luckily for us, our friends just rejoined us as new characters. But as Brennan, when another mission came up, I was like, well, send them in first. They're just meat.
So that's kind of strange to me because he seems like a very nice guy compared to Brennan.
Yeah, I was speaking to one or two people and thought, who did you play? I thought it was Brennan. They thought, oh, you were Brennan. I thought, wow, you don't realise how much you can potentially change in game. It's people that I've been afraid of in character and out of character who look really intimidating and whatnot, and you meet them in person, they're the nicest people you'll ever meet.
I decided to check back in with the crew as preparations continued for the third event.
Hello again.
Hiya. Right.
How's it all going?
Okay, yeah. I'll show you the back.
Yeah.
One of the first things that might be good to do is show you a brief overview of some of the equipment and weapons and stuff used in the game, and I can help explain the rules behind some of them because they're fairly different. Most of them.
You can say.
So we like to go with a very low level of calls in the game. Most games will have, if you hit someone, you'll call single, double, triple, and that's representing a different amount of damage. We try to streamline that, so this sword and this mace will do exactly the same amount of damage when you pagger someone.
Right.
We've got crossbow.
I'm sorry.
There you go. Now we've got some guns, so if you just, I
Jesus.
think it's on.
This is a portal gun.
Just hold the trigger down.
Jesus. So that is cool.
You've also got things like this, throwing knife. So, yeah. And I'm going to be mean, they don't hurt. This is a coreless brick. So
I was wondering why there was just a brick there.
Now we've gone through some of this, I will show you one I prepared earlier.
Oh right, okay. So this is like the sort of basis.
Yeah.
But then from there, I presume people individualise this.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, they hugely individualise it. I mean, I'm saying this is what a peacekeeper looks like. The players might tell me very differently.
Yeah. Because in theory, if you basically spend none of your money and you're completely like bare.
Yeah.
And then you just go and kill somebody, you could just take all their stuff.
You could. Yes.
Like, surely people will be really annoyed.
Yes, at these sort of games, most people trust each other, which is really, really good. But if it comes to it, they tend to tell a ref.
This is a Seeker. It's one of the elements of the Swarm. So it's one of the kind of big monsters that you'll come across in game. We've got some foam from carpet laying, we've got some cling film, and some fleece.
So you'll write these?
Yeah.
And then no player can be them and they just interact with them, right?
If by interact you mean scare them and maybe kill them a little bit.
Yeah.
After my meeting with Jack, it felt only right to meet with his friend and comrade Wayne, better known as Victor Faraday.
Were you sort of nervous when you first went, or?
I was terrified the first time I went, because of, hence why my character's kind of part mute. I was just didn't know how to accept how to go into something that I've never done before.
Just go back, you said that your character is a mute.
My character's quite moody now, he's quite depressed, and he only speaks really to his superiors, and everybody else will sort of, he'll just stare at them.
Yeah.
I brought me trusty nail bath, which is Victor's choice of melee weapon.
Right.
He's also got a rifle, but this is for emergencies basically. And this is the gas mask I'm going to be using for the next event.
Are you always wearing it?
I'm always wearing it, yeah.
Oh, so you are literally Bane.
Yeah.
Oh.
There will be times where I'll probably have it down just so I can breathe properly and
Yeah.
be able to drink and
Yeah,
whatnot.
is that not difficult?
It's just sort of look good as your character.
Yeah,
You put a lot into your character, so you want it to look good, and
Like, you grow affectionate to the character, so then you grow quite affectionate to
yeah.
just like the little thing, like this is his weapon. Oh, it's not bad. Yeah. That's actually not bad. I was expecting a lot worse. Yeah. Yeah, can I have a go?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, tell me, like, so you have to pull away, don't you?
You have to pull your blow just
So
before you hit it.
So it's like,
Yeah.
was that a bit weedy?
Hi man, you alright? Listen, I was having to think about you coming to the event, and I was just wondering, do you reckon you can get into the shop sometime and we'll have a chat about it? Alright, cheers. Ta-ra.
Hello.
Hello.
So what's up?
Well, thanks for coming back in.
No worries.
What we've thought is, if you're going to be in, okay, and you want to come around and film it and so on and so forth, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But in order to keep everybody's immersion, and really in order for you to get a good experience of it, you're going to have to do it in character. So you're going to have to play effectively.
Right. Okay.
What we'll do, I'll go through how you build a character, and it's essentially 3 steps. Where you're from, so your background, your culture, as we call it, your rules, so what you can do, and then your costume, so how you look, and that helps you get into the personality and so on. So our first one is the Aristoc. This is our kind of most sci-fi group. They're ruled by people who are biologically immortal, and they're all about duty and doing what you're told by the guy who's your leader and so on. If we go over to the matriarchy, these are probably the most sort of traditional medieval LARP looking group. What we've tried to do right the way through is to make sure that there's no overlap with real world positions. So they're incredibly sexist, but it's the women in charge.
Right.
So you're supposed to be sexist if you play in the matriarchy, but there's no way you could confuse that with a real person being sexist because the genders are switched. Peacekeepers are what's left of the modern world, sort of, but in terms of playing them, they're a military only. That's kind of all they do. So they're entirely lacking in a social structure. They're just lost. So it's kind of, what do you do if you have soldiers and you don't have a war? Falquet are all about kind of family and tribe and you know, looking after your brother and your sister that's right next to you, but often to the exclusion of everyone else. We wanted all the Falquet to have a facial tattoo. So no matter what you're dressed like, you can spot a Falquet because they have a facial tattoo.
Is that does each thing have something like that where it's like that's your one thing that?
No, because it's very easy to start telling people this is what you should look like, this is how you should play, which just takes that huge pool of talent that the players have and limits it. And we wanted to avoid that. To that end, actually, this last one, the Free Trade Union, was expressly designed to allow people to make their own up.
I think that's the one that would be best to play and best in terms of a film unit.
And it's helpful that there's already a press of sorts in the Free Trade Union that they've already met.
So that could be something we could be
work into that
crew.
Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Okay. Right. So, if you go in on your own, you're going to suffer briefly, and then you'll die.
Okay.
That would be my guess.
Right.
So, you need a group, and you need a group that can support you. That would be my strong advice. But of course, they'll have to be in character as well.
Okay. Newtown, a community on the frontier of the wastelands. Here, the 5 cultures that make our world live on the tipping point of order and chaos. On behalf of the Free Trade Union, I, Jeremiah Fontaine, will document the struggle of these people and the atrocities which lie beyond the borders. Our crew was awoken to the sound of an explosion. What just happened here?
It was an explosion.
Oh right, how do you think that happened? Why do you think that happened?
I have no idea, didn't see it. Some chap came up, exploded, didn't actually explode himself, and everybody died nearly.
Oh right, why?
But I saved them.
Oh really? How did you save them?
Well, I didn't amputate anybody this time. You know, I do like amputating people, but not today, unfortunately.
Right.
What are you doing now? Science!
In the midst of the chaos, a band of peacekeepers apprehend a fellow soldier, suspected of orchestrating the blast.
You're here because of your actions and what you've done to the name of peacekeepers.
Really?
The theft, the explosions, it ends.
All we know is the facts. Like, he asked you to make the bomb. Do you dispute that you did that?
We don't know what's going on. We've got nothing concrete. But obviously, I don't think it's concrete.
No, as the peacekeepers, we mean to keep the peace under all tenets of that.
From a neutral perspective, it looks as if he was trialled without a jury.
There was a jury. The peacekeepers are the jury.
He should be exiled. He's obviously not trustworthy, none of us
so
trust him.
Let's vote on exile or
death?
execution.
Exile?
Okay. Let's for exile.
Sorry, Doc. Execution. Ding, 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 ding.
Tensions in the town escalate further when an embassy from Unity, the army from the north, demands an audience with the town's leaders.
We would like Newtown to leave the Free Trade Union and fall under the banner of Unity.
The original agreement was that you were free to move through the town unmolested. You would not bother us and we would not bother you.
More things have happened since then.
With the threat of Unity gone for now, the town returns to the daily grind, defending its borders from the Blight Corps swarm. Waves upon waves of Blight Corpses are impending. How do you feel about that?
Calm. There's no point in trying to fix Newtown if it's not here to be fixed.
Anybody with a weapon would be useful right about now. Let's shoot them along.
What is that?
Look,
using the goddamn thing.
This is no one else is gonna. Look, careful.
Take him out of the rear.
Sometimes killing them's not a good idea.
One, two.
Absolute carnage.
Get out of here now. Just go. Back. Secure. Go! Now! Let go!
Hit it behind it.
Keep me in my work of Restoria!
Pull it away from the building.
Shock.
Okay, slowly, line it up. Find a chink in the armour. Chinks.
Eyes out! Some eyes
3, 2,
out!
1. Now!
Incoming!
So, give me a knife and we'll open him up.
Is this really a good time for this?
I think there can be a better time.
No, there isn't. I've just been blown up by a grenade. Thank you very much.
Surely this would be perfect reaction time, then. What actions are you going to take now?
I'm gonna hold for a moment, get myself together, and then get back on the line.
As the town recovers, the medics use precious resources to aid the wounded. Even our own sound operator Eve is injured in the field. Oh, so you've been bitten?
Yeah, I got slightly eaten.
Oh shit. Are you now on your last sort of run? Are you going to be a Blight Corps?
No, I don't think so.
Just don't do that again, that was a close shave.
He came right at me.
So get out of the way. We're a news report, we're not warriors.
Three of them chased me.
We're not warriors, Eve.
It's good to see you up and running again.
Can we avoid them in future?
No.
I didn't enjoy that much.
Of course we can't.
Yes, we can.
This is life.
You
This is the life we chose.
You bastards avoided them.
It's been a long day here in Newtown. We've had nearly a loss to the team. We've had Unity come in and all but engage in war. We don't really know any more leads on that, but I'm presuming that will come through soon. I think it's going to be a long night.
Reverse this direction.
Well, that's definitely
It seems to be okay at the moment. We seem to be clear, and in the revelry, I think he's getting a tattoo by Falquette.
Really hurt.
Why?
Because he has adaptive metabolism. This means that he can take no drugs. So if I take knife and tattoo your face, you want drugs, yes?
Probably.
He wants drugs. He cannot have them.
Things seem very calm.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of celebrating to be done. We've survived quite a few waves.
It's a bit too calm, don't you think?
There's one or two people outside. We've got people on patrol. We'll, as soon as we hear something, we'll drop everything and be out there with them.
How about you, Victor?
Tobago.
Not for a while. Yes, that's been written.
So we've lost Leo, we've lost our cameraman. We all fled out of the room because the Harbinger was in there. I still don't know what's going on. He seems to be. The last time I saw Leo, he was still in the room. I haven't seen him out at the moment. We are without a cameraman. I don't really care that much about Leo, but the camera.
Yeah.
Just give me the camera.
I got trapped. I got trapped in there with that thing. It's crawling about, trying to learn from the surroundings. Apparently it fell from the sky. It got this close, I swear. I was this close.
Hunter! Jesus Christ! Behind you! It took my eye! No!
So we've just come from there. We're at the crew hut now with Simon, the man who's just made me almost shit myself.
Actually, well, I could.
Was that you?
Yeah, that was me.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
I could actually.
That was him. That was
this
you. He made that. Oh.
So yeah, this is called a Harbinger, and what it does is it learns what the players do.
I've noticed.
And then it sort of psychically transmits what it learns to the zombies, so they can get smarter and better and learn their tactics and stuff.
So what is it like when with sort of witnessing these sort of big finale moments?
Well, this is the finale, yeah.
So it appears that status quo has returned here in Newtown. Unity, the rival town, has arrived with Blight Courses with them. No one really knows exactly how they've been able to get them to fight alongside them, but that appears to be the case.
They're heretics and they need to all be put to the sword and burnt.
You think you can handle both? Seems hard enough handling one.
We'll find a way.
I'm already getting taste down here. What about yourself?
As the fighting continued, we realised we were caught behind enemy lines. Have you got your gun?
I think so, yeah.
Do you check?
Shit, no, that's just my flask.
Are you fucking serious?
You scared?
Yeah, of course I'm fucking scared. Are you not?
Well, a little bit, yeah. You do get scared, but you know. You have things like this to keep you company. Gives you a bit of courage, doesn't it?
I've only got this.
Well, if it gets too bad, just shove it down the throat.
I've got no shield, I've got quicken and calm, that's it.
Quicken will get him out and move him.
We're not eating pilgrims!
Some people saw their own person dead, went crazy, tried to attack some completely innocents who'd actually tried to defend their person. There was nothing to do but to take them down. They were intent on blood.
The death of another soldier is the last thing these people need, as Unity and the Swarm return in a final effort to seize control of the settlement.
You ready? Kill them all! I'm not finished yet! I ain't finished with you!
We need some rain!
Can you walk?
What happened? The arse kicked is what happened.
These are difficult times for all the residents of Newtown, but we will not be moved. We will not be dissuaded from our purpose. We've stood for worse before, and we will prevail. Thank you.
We're here to stay, and we're not going to let anybody kick us out of here.
As the final remnants of unity are purged from the borders, it is a triumphant day for Newtown. As more of our world falls to the swarm, it becomes evident that Newtown is a shining example of the security that can be achieved when we, as the Aristoc, the Matriarchy, the Peacekeepers, the Falkir and the Free Trade Union, stand together in the face of adversity. To my colleagues in the South, this is Jeremiah Fontaine, signing off from Newtown.
He's not gonna.
Is it a bit of relief?
Yeah, bit sketchy at the end, but you know.
It's a running gag. The last two characters, the last two events have both been blown up. I have managed to survive all day. It's quite nice.
Bit of relief?
A little bit.
This is kind of like the best bit when it's over and it's done, and you know there's nothing else that can go horribly wrong.
It's just bathe in the rewards.
There's that, but you don't bathe in it long because then there's the site tidy up, which is harder than the rest of the event itself. So.
How did you survive that? You seem to spend most of the time being injured.
With deceit, trickery, and a lot of credits.
We've got a few games that we're looking at working on.
Sleep.
Yeah, but we've got to unpack, we've got to sleep, and we have to write the plot for next event before I forgot what happens.
You pulled through, yeah. I spent the last of the event back on the operating table again. Yeah, we'll definitely come back to the next one. That's brilliant, it looks like.
It's not really over with the end of an event.
Does it ever really end?
No. No, it doesn't.
Over my last 5 months in the world of L.A.R.P, it's become clear to me that the imagination of the organisers, the creativity of the players and the dedication of the crew combine to create an immersive and welcoming universe. Whilst it may seem strange to some, a closer look defies expectations. Live action roleplay continues to grow, inviting more and more to don armour and face each other in the heat of battle.
We're here with the Black Corps. Anything else to add?